Hi there, I hope you're all doing well. This week I wanted an excuse to try out the new Vallejo True Metallic paints. I have a Stormcast army I want to paint up, but I've been holding off until I get some of these paints to try out. Now that they are here, I've primed one of them black and I get started with all of the armour using Celestial Violet base. Obviously I'm not going with a gold Stormcast, although purple shadows on a gold could actually look pretty cool and I might try that in the future. I'll be doing a purple and black theme on these guys, giving them a little bit of a darker vibe. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. You can also join Discord using the link in the description, where you can share anything you have been hobbying on, or just hang out and chat. I hope you enjoy the video and find it useful. After giving the armour a base colour, I move on to the next part of the set, the Celestial Violet shade. I was expecting this to be more of a purple wash essentially, but it has a lot more pigment in it and actually changes the colour of the armour a fair bit. I would probably say this colour is one of their express colours more than anything else, just specific for the metallic paints. The shade paint takes a little bit longer to dry than I anticipated, so while I waited I grabbed Temple Stone and just gave the base a couple of layers. With everything dry now, I can start adding in some highlights to the armour, and since these shades stain the armour so much, the first highlight is some Celestial Violet base again. I use this to bring up all of the panels that would be in the light, keeping those shaded parts in the shadows and the recesses. You could just paint the shade into the washes and skip this step, but that doesn't seem like a faster option, especially if you're doing an entire army. For a single model, that might be a better option though. And then in a few final bright sections where I want the reflection to be the strongest, I grabbed Celestial Violet Light and just touched up all of these parts. Even though metallic shines on its own, I found placing the lighter tone in the places where I want to emphasize the reflections doesn't look out of place and just kind of pulls the eye towards those spots, similar to how you would do with regular paints. With the purple all finished, I move on to the black metallic parts now, starting off with a base coat of Doom Metal. Black metallic is a hard one to get right. If you push these highlights too far, they just look very silver, which is why I want their Doom Metal as the base colour. Is the darkest metallic I have for those shadows. Starting on the highlights, I mixed some plate mail metal into that Doom Metal and just went around all the areas facing upwards. Finishing off the black parts with some pure plate mail metal just to go around the edges and the uppermost parts, where the light will be brightest and I want the attention drawn towards. Moving away from metallic paints now, I got some sunny skin tone and gave his face a few layers just to start on with. As I've been doing lately, I mixed some Vallejo's skin tone in and began highlighting up the face, going through a couple of mixes to bring up the sharper features with a little bit extra skin tone mixed in. I'm not too sure why I've been gravitating towards these two paints for all of my skin tones lately, but it does look nice at least, although I need to change it up and try some different things. Now that the skin is all finished, I can move on to the hair and the leather straps with some leather brown. Going everything a couple of coats just to make sure it's nice and smooth to work from. To make these parts look different, I highlight the leather and the hair separately. Starting off with the leather, I went around using leather brown and skin tone. Bringing up the majority again, I just leave that darker tone in the shadows and a few random places to help look a little bit more worn. Finishing off the leather, I added some more skin tone in and gave the edges a quick highlight, keeping those brush strokes fairly random for that extra texture punch. The leather is all finished now, so I can move on to the hair and the weapon hilts. These parts get a first highlight with leather brown and skeleton legion. As I started this step, I noticed there's a skull on the base, so I'll give that a quick base coat with this at the same time. Pushing up the edges, there is some pure skeleton bone. This step looks like a massive jump in brightness, and well, it is. But that's all part of the plan, and it will be darkened back down later on. Darkening all of those highlights back down now, I wash all of the leather and the hair with some soft tone, tinting it all with an amber tone and blending those highlights closer to the base colour. The next step is to get some variation into the base with a messy layer of pale sand. I keep the brighter parts of this highlight towards the edges of the stone where they'll be chipped the most. Across the main part of the stone, it's more of a dry brush just to pick up the variations in the sculpt. The next part I'm leaving in the video, but I'm not too sure if I'm actually going to have this on the army scheme. This is all of the blue shield and the hammerhead. I start off with a couple of layers of witching hour blue as the base. The reason I'm not too sure about this is how it stands out against that purple armor. I think black might be better to work with what I was going for, but it still looks okay on the finished model. It's just not quite what I was expecting. But this blue will be getting used when I do the gold Stormcast army in the future. Pushing in the midtone on the blue and brightening it even more, I want to run with some magic blue. On the shield, it's only the edges that get left the darker tone. On the weapon, it's all of the recesses and some of the faces facing downwards. With a couple of coats of magic blue out of the way, I go around the edges with pastel blue. The main goal of this step is to emphasize the edges where the light will be hitting and just separate those panels a bit more. The final steps of the mini are the gold parts. Start off with a once over of Imperial gold base, another of the Vallejo True Metallic lines, but I don't have any of the other ones for this set. Since I don't have the light version of Imperial Gold, I grabbed AK Interactive's Gold. This is just a nice bright that covers well enough that it doesn't actually take ages to layer up. Finishing off, all of the gold parts are knocked back down along with the base, using a thin down wash of Archaic Sepia wash. I could have probably done the leather parts and the hair with this at the same time, but I didn't plan that far ahead on this mini. I was just grabbing paints as I went. And that will be it for the Stormcast test and my first time using Vallejo metallic paints. I really like these paints. I think I need to get more of them before I do any heavy metallic army schemes. For this scheme, all of the metallics are perfect. I just need the blue to think about. I'm not too sure on that one still. At the very least, it's a fairly small part that I can just change up after I've done everything else. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. You could also join Discord using the link in the description, where you can share anything you have been hovering on, or just hang out and chat. For those of you who want to pick up some more painting supplies or some new minis, there are a couple of affiliate links in the description below. If you enjoyed the video and found it useful, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more content. Most importantly though, be kind to each other.